Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, broadcast live on the USA Network from the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Men's Royal Rumble winner Cody Rhodes opened the show by making his upcoming WrestleMania main event official, issuing his challenge to undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
WrestleMania is in 62 days. Roman, that might just be 62 days for you. It is 62 days for the rest of my life. At WrestleMania, undesirable has already become undeniable, but undeniable remains uncrowned, and on that night, it ends. At WrestleMania, pull up a chair, sit wherever the hell you want. On that night, somebody else is going to be eating. And after WrestleMania, you can be the tribal chief, you can be the head of the table, you can be the biggest superstar in the world, but the one thing that Roman Reigns will not be is the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion.
In the main event of the show, Rhodes defeated Finn Balor in a match marred by attempted outside interference from the rest of the Judgment Day faction, which was thwarted by Edge. Judgment Day had previously confronted Rhodes during his promo in the opening segment. Women's Royal Rumble winner Rhea Ripley also addressed the Raw crowd, stating her intention to challenge SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
So Charlotte, I advise you to enjoy everyone rising and bowing down to the Queen, because they're about to rise to Rhea Ripley. At WrestleMania, I put you in your place. Charlotte Flair, I choose you.
Ripley lost the NXT Women's Championship to Flair at WrestleMania 3 years ago. In 3 Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, Seth Rollins defeated Chad Gable, Johnny Gargano defeated Baron Corbin, and Bronson Reed defeated Dolph Ziggler. Rollins, Gargano, and Reed will all take part in the Elimination Chamber match on February 18th, along with 3 other participants to be determined on next week's Raw. Rick Boogs officially joined the Raw roster for the first time during the show, pinning The Miz in his first match back since suffering a leg injury last year at WrestleMania. He had previously been a member of the SmackDown roster since 2021. In other results, Io Sky pinned Candice LeRae, and Austin Theory was a guest on MVP's VIP Lounge interview segment. Bobby Lashley interfered in the segment, attacking Theory, and then speared former manager MVP by accident. In Royal Rumble news, WWE shared the record-breaking success of last weekend's premium live event, reporting yesterday that it was the highest-grossing and most-watched Rumble of all time. The live attendance gate for the show was reported as a record $7.7 million, a 50% increase over the previous record for the 2017 Royal Rumble. Viewership was also up by more than 50% from last year's Rumble. The event broke venue merchandise and sponsorship sales records for the Royal Rumble as well, with merch sales in particular up 135% from the record set last year. In injury news, WWE road agent Ken Doane sustained what is believed to be a torn calf muscle during the Royal Rumble match, according to a report from PW Insider. Doane was one of several WWE officials and referees sent out to break up the brawl between Edge and the Judgment Day, which is where the injury reportedly occurred. Doane is scheduled to receive an MRI on his leg. Once the severity of the injury is known, it can be determined how much time Doane may need to recover. An agent and producer with WWE since 2021, Doane first wrestled for the company in the 2000s as Kenny Dykstra of the Spirit Squad. In news from outside the ring, Stone Cold Steve Austin is set to star in a new TV series for A&E, according to a story broken yesterday by Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics. Stone Cold's Takes on America is scheduled to premiere in April and run for 10 weeks. Although the concept of the show has not officially been announced, Images and videos of Austin working as a TV meteorologist and at a fast food restaurant, which were made public earlier this month, may hint at the direction of the series. The new series is part of a whole new slate of WWE-related A&E programming, including the new season of Biography, WWE Legends, with 6 episodes running in February and March, as well as the new season of WWE Rivals, with 8 episodes running from February to April. WWE Monday Night Raw play-by-play announcer Kevin Patrick has been included as part of the broadcast team for Major League Soccer's Season Pass service. Patrick is listed in yesterday's official MLS announcement under his real name of Kevin Egan, and no mention was made of his other duties with WWE. Egan, who has been a broadcaster for Major League Soccer's Chicago Fire and Atlanta United for the past 10 seasons, is one of 31 broadcasters brought in for MLS Season Pass, a streaming service which will be available in over 100 countries and regions and is set to launch tomorrow. Turning to Japan, Bushiroad, the parent company of New Japan Pro Wrestling and Wonder Ring Stardom, has announced that moving forward, all of their shows will allow full audience participation. Friday, the Japanese government lifted its COVID-19 pandemic restrictions on crowd size and vocalization, ending the nation's policy of not allowing cheering at large venue and entertainment and sporting events if spectators made up more than 50% of the venue's capacity. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.